I am so excited about this video. We're going to be taking a look at something we never have before on my channel, so this is going to be a first. We're going to be looking at the M10 from STEAMBOW. Stick around. As I've mentioned to you before in other videos, I'm becoming more and more selective with the things that I'm reviewing. You know, when I first got started on YouTube, I was reviewing a lot of different things, but my scope is a lot more narrow these days. But I have never covered a tool like this before on my channel, and it's past time. Truth be told, I'm very new to the world of crossbows. I've always shot recurves for the most part, but I've had several people in my audience asking me to get into these and to review a couple of different models, and I was able to make contact with STEAMBOW and look at reviewing their AR series M10. But before I get too deep into the review and the demonstration, let's go back in time and look at the unboxing and the accessories. So in getting this unboxed, we've got our STEAMBOW AR series M10 Tactical. Let's get this box open. So here's everything that I've gotten out of the box from my STEAMBOW. I want to show you this target board that I've got right here. I also want to turn around here and let you see the other side of it. I do believe the target is sold separately. All of this come packaged together. You know, you have to take out each part of the STEAMBOW separately. You've got separate accessories here, like your magazine, some bowstring and other things here. You've got your arrows for the STEAMBOW and all of your parts here. I'm going to utilize this to put all of this together. Figured I'd show you this as well. Dry firing will void your warranty. Going to try to make assembly as easy as possible for you. This thing connects in a couple of places. Let me pop this pin right here so you can see this. You're going to have to connect this bolt right here to this end of it. You get some nuts and bolts to drive in right here. There's going to be a plastic piece behind this that you're going to have to push out. I used like a screwdriver. That's where you're going to slide your bow into that slot, as you can see right here. You're also going to have to connect it back here. There's a pin that you can just push through. I want to show you that on the other side there. So a pin connects right here, and you bolt it together right here. You take out this little plastic block when you get it out of the package, slide your bow in right here. I want to show you this. You can pull this pin out if you want to lift this up. You can see where you slide your bow right down into that open area. There's going to be a little plastic block you have to take out right there. So that's basically the connectors. As far as this handle is concerned, it just slides right on these Picatinny rails wherever you want, and you have to screw them in right there. The hardware is not too scattered. It's only a few pieces, and you'll know what to use. Now let's take a look at this magazine. You know, this is how they go in. You just put the arrows in. I'm going to show you how I load this magazine. Once you put one of these in, you know, you can start stacking them. And I just put them in just like this right here. You see that end of it? Just stack them. Just pop them in just like that, one after another. I've gotten this magazine pretty much filled up. I can't hold on to these things for some reason. But it just stacks up on top of each other just like this. Just like that. Your magazine just drops in just like that right there. Now, if you take this magazine out, all the arrows are going to fall out as well. And you release the magazine just by pushing this button. For now, I'm just going to show you how to cock it, and I'm going to take one shot. So again, you're just grabbing this rigid area here, you're popping it, loosen it, and cock it just like that. Now, I want to show you this pin. This is a safety. If you click this here, you can't shoot that. You have to take the safety off. Now you can shoot it. I don't recommend shooting into wooden targets because you can damage the arrows, but I'm going to shoot into this wooden target because I want to see the penetration it gets. Whew, that's hard hitting. All right, let's pull this out. There we go. Something I want to show you here on the bottom of the pistol grip in the front is this little compartment. You can take this off and you can store things inside of here, such as, you know, spare hardware and so forth. Gonna take a shot here at about 35 yards. I haven't gotten my aiming down on this just yet, but that's pretty hard penetration in this pretty tough target from that far away. Now these are 75-pound limbs, which I do believe is around 180 feet per second. Now let's double up on the shots. We're getting better and better. Look at the penetration in this target. It's like the pump shotgun of the crossbow world. I believe these are most definitely apocalypse approved, hit the fan approved. I would not want to be hit with one of these at all, especially in a vital, but I intend to do some ballistics testings with these going forward. A couple of features I want to point out there is the protective pad that absorbs the shock of the bow. I also want you to get a look at these sights. As far as aiming this is concerned, I haven't quite fully figured out the aiming system with this. I'm fairly new to these. You've got your fiber optic sights, but they obviously don't line up directly with your barrel here, is what I'll call it. And, you know, so you've kind of got to judge the distance, it seems. I started learning to judge the distance between where I was at. You can almost kind of instinctively look right through this thing to see where you're going. And when I started doing that, I got a lot better. If you need to change the settings on your shoulder stock, you can. I like where mine's at, but you can extend it. I'm not going to talk like the expert on crossbows because I have never used one, never owned one. I've always, like I said, used a more traditional bow, but super excited to have this in my collection. I'm probably going to invest in quite a bit of these arrows here. This hits really hard. I think this would be a very formidable tool in a various number of situations. You know, whether it's hunting or whether it's silently defending. When it comes to affiliations, I don't just partner with anyone, but I am partnered with STEAMBOW, and I will be providing an affiliate link and a discount code in the description. I follow up on reviews like this, typically with a YouTube short, and I'm going to be doing some further experimentation. I don't have really what I need at this particular time with the exception of this target, but I'm going to be eventually getting some meat and ballistics. I am, however, going to shoot through the wooden side of this archery target, which is very hard. So this is the side that I shot into, and this is basically what we have. Went in the wood target up to that line right there. So it pretty much went through the wooden board. That's the penetration we got, so that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna shoot into the regular side so you can see the power and the penetration as well. So these pretty much go all the way in. What I love so much about marksmanship in general is that it's one of those things in life that can be enjoyed in the good times and be very, very helpful in dark times. Whether it's general survival or having one more tool in your defensive kit. Because of shows like Walking Dead and games like Resident Evil, and I could go on, the crossbow is largely associated with those apocalyptic hit the fan scenarios. But just like you'd have to store up ammo with a firearm, you know, if you ever wanted something like this in situations like that, you got to have these around as well. You know, I don't know how easy it would be to self-source something like this. I'm sure some of you handy dandy people out there could, but if you want something like this for a hard time, you got to stock up on the supplies for the M10 just like you would with anything else. Now, although I'm not the most handy dandy guy out there, I do feel like something like this could be replicated if you really had to. The M10 Tactical from STEAMBOW, ladies and gentlemen, very user-friendly, very stylish, well-built, easy to assemble. And I'm especially excited to introduce this brand to my audience and to have this form of marksmanship available in my repertoire of the many other things that I do. If you're new to my channel here at 411 Outdoors, I cover everything from firearms to slingshots to knives, knife throwing, tomahawks, shepherd slinging, archery, and all of these different forms of marksmanship. And now I'm glad to finally have this in the loop. I'm looking forward to learning more and more about the STEAMBOW and its capabilities, but I'd love to hear from you. Do you have a STEAMBOW? Which model do you have? I'd just love to hear your story and any expertise you want to share with regards to these great tools. And the STEAMBOW M10 Tactical is right up my alley. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Take care.